Hello and welcome to Access Paranormal Podcast. Tonight we've got two guests which we've been trying to get on for a long time. We've got the Ouija brothers here, we've got Steve, and we've got Griff, who tried to make me mixed up. It doesn't take much to do that. So you've been going a while now. I'm going to ask Griff first. Griff, I've got to ask you, how did the Ouija brothers come along? How did you start off?
So basically we was at a place called 30 East Drive. Some of you might know it, some of you might not know it. And we was there just on a normal investigation, and we had a YouTuber supposed to come out and help us. And he come out, did his own thing, and then left us. And we was just sitting there going, well, we really wanted to have a go with some of the equipment. We wanted to have a go with some of the stuff for the ghost hunting. Obviously, Steve was a follower of him at the time, and that's how we got in touch with him. But yeah, he just left, and then basically we was like, well, that sucks, what are we supposed to do? So then on that day, it was like we formed the Ouija Brothers.
Ouija Brothers.
So it's 30 East Drive.
Right.
Which you'll probably hear a lot about in this.
Yeah, because I mean, I've never been there yet, so we'll question you on that one as well. And Steve, how long have you known Griff?
We used to go to school together, senior school, so I think I've known him since I was about 12 years old.
Around the 60s then.
And we don't look that old, do we?
So about 12, I was about 12 years old, we're now 35, so we've been like best friends for 20 plus years.
Wow.
We was troublemakers, and you know, we bonded over being a nuisance to others, I suppose.
To others, I wouldn't say that.
So before the Ouija Brothers then, you must have been like out and about yourselves. What got you into the actual...
So what happened was, I think we've always been a fan of paranormal. Like I know Griff, well, he grew up with a haunting at his house, which was actually pretty impressive. And then obviously, as you know, when I was younger, I used to watch Mouse Haunted. You know, and we went through all that phase of, you know, watching the Halloween specials and, you know, because they got everyone excited into the paranormal.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, no matter what people's opinion of them now are, you know, that they spurred a lot of people to go out there and you know, to search for whatever the paranormal is. So it was this exact same for me and my brother, and, you know, all my family would watch the Halloweens, all the episodes, record it, always talk about it. And then, you know, I think you watched Ghost Adventures and stuff.
Yeah,
you was a Ghost Adventures.
The Zach Bagans watcher.
And so, but I don't think we ever really talked about paranormal stuff together until we moved in together. We lived with each other for about 8 months at this location, and we was getting some amazing stuff there, to be fair, at the house, which was quite unexplainable because we lived right next to a bridge, and the train used to go past, and a few people have unfortunately lost their lives like underneath the bridge, like with car accidents and stuff. And obviously a lot of people talk about how the energy from like railway lines and stuff like that can like possibly manifest like energy or something. So we don't know if anything that was linked, but we got some amazing stuff inside that house. We would set up cameras like at the night time, and this is way before YouTube, you know, about 5 years before we did anything on YouTube. And we had some crazy stuff in there, and we'd always talk about it.
It was long, 5 years.
Yeah.
It's longer than that.
Not before the Ouija Brothers.
Did you?
Well, Kira was just about to be born. I think that's my first daughter.
Ah, right, okay.
So, so I think our paranormal interest came from living inside that house. What was it, 279 Deans Road?
279 Deans Road.
Yeah.
I'd love to go back in there.
There's going to be loads of people wanting to book that in.
Man, you know, I want to go. Every time we drive past it, I'm like we both think, it's like, man, it would be so good to go in there, because we had some amazing experiences. Like Griff actually moved out like near the end. It was just me and my partner and my young girl, and when we would go to bed, it sounded like people were running up the stairs. I legitimately thought we had burglars in the house, so I had to have like a bat next to me. I'd be running down the stairs and there'd be nothing, and the heart was pounding, and sometimes you'd hear them run across on top of the garage as well.
Yeah, that was the worst.
And it sounded like they was running on the garage and then pounding on the side of the walls. It was crazy.
Well, because I had a really good experience there, and it was I was already interested in the paranormal. I'd gone on a few, you know, like haunted happenings type nights.
Yeah.
Not with haunted happenings, but with another company.
Yeah.
And I went to Chillingham Castle.
Yeah.
And stuff, and I had some stuff there and obviously I'd been doing ghost hunting and stuff like that, but we was at the house at the time, and honestly, there was one story, if you don't mind me saying.
No, I was going to ask you to.
There was literally, the bathroom door was completely locked.
Yeah.
And it was locked from the inside. You could only lock it from the inside. So my girlfriend at the time, I thought she was in the bathroom messing about. She was not even there. I'm calling. I'm like, where am I? So I'm downstairs. I'm like, the door's locked. The door's locked upstairs, and we're there. We're talking about it. So it's impossible for it to be locked. So I come downstairs, talked to her, went back upstairs. The door was open. And do you know, in England, we've got these pull switches inside the bathrooms. Mm-hmm. That pull switch was untied and over the sink. And the door was open, and I was like, this, and I says, I'm going, I'll stop to this on the knife.
And now you're doing it as entertainment?
Yeah, but it's more like your senses become more heightened, and it doesn't scare you as much as it once did. Because there was a time, most people say, oh, Griff's this, Griff's that, but there's a time where I wouldn't stop in certain places at all. But now I'm just like, it's like you say, desensitised, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you become...
Because we can go around like these scare mazes, it's stuff like theme parks. And these horror houses, and I'm blank. I'm literally walking through, like, yeah, whatever. And everyone around me are screaming. I've witnessed it. People are screaming, clinging on. I was like, what's up? Go around the corner, claim, right, you're all right, man. And everyone else is jumping out. I was like,
I completely identify with that, because we went to one, me, Jonathan, and I've got a group, and we all decided to go to Croxteth Hall. I don't know whether you've ever been there. Yeah. And they had a night where it was like a scare factor. And we just walked around, we going, oh, they're like that, and then somebody come up through the table. They've done it fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not going to say
it is sad on them though, isn't it? Because they're expecting a reaction, and you're there going,
my fear is so high, you can't do nothing.
But they pulled us up at the end, and he said, how come we didn't frighten you or not like that? And we said, we do ghost hunts and that, we've just been here and we've done this. And he went, oh, right, is that what it was? Because he said, when you were going round, we were going, these people aren't scared.
Yeah.
And I said, no, it's because, I said, but don't get me wrong, they've done a fantastic job.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that when you're a ghost hunter, and you've got to say it yourselves, you're observing, you're looking for things all the time.
And most of the time, you're spending your time in total darkness.
Yeah.
And when you actually hear something when you don't know where it's coming from, you might be like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Or when you get something running it,
Oh, well, yeah.
We were going round going,
a different thing altogether.
There's a woman sitting there, but they were like dead still, and some people didn't see it. We were going, she's real. Like that, and we didn't spoil it. We were just going, and he's going, and like that, and we go, oh yeah, I told you.
Yeah, like that jump scare does not work. Like if I go to the cinema as well, and go watch horror films, and they try and give you the jump scares, most of the time it's like, it's just falling.
Oh no, you can get me on them.
Oh, you
can get me on them. You're watching programs on the TV, and I'm not expecting it. You're a ghost hunting, watching ghost hunting.
Yeah.
But I think it's the way they do it as well. There's like the music band.
Well, it's how they build the tension. Is
music's a big effect.
It starts. When a jump scare is going to happen because everything starts to go quiet. Yeah. They start turning the music down and all the sound effects because before it's going to go boom. So I'm like, here we go.
I used to send off. Do you remember they make videos? And it'd be like a nice car driving around the countryside and all the things, like that. Yeah. And I'm desensitized to them because every time somebody sends me something now, I think, I know what's coming here.
Yeah.
But when I send them to other people, they call me for everything, Yeah. Anyway, we've gone off the cuff a little bit there. Because,
that's what happens there.
I don't mind that.
Just talking.
But your house that you were at now, you were then.
Yeah.
Was it like a regular thing that happened to you when you were in there, or was it...
At Dean's Road?
Yeah.
The Dean's Road one, I think so.
It wasn't constant. And if it was constant, we didn't have as much notice as we do now. But some of the recordings that we had, like someone cooking a breakfast.
That was crazy. So we had a locked off camera in the kitchen. Yeah. And as Griff just said, it sounded like someone was doing a fry up. You could hear like the fat spitting out of the pan, some stones being thrown across the room, chairs being dragged.
You could literally hear someone pull a chair out and sit in it.
And me and Griff were upstairs in bed. Yeah. They're just thinking,
What does that... So
not together anyway. Just got to clarify that, guys.
Well, if you were, I was going to work out how his little girl was appeared.
Separate rooms.
Yeah. So are you both believers in the paranormal then?
Yeah, believers, but not as believing everything type of thing. It really has to be something that I cannot explain, or see in the sense, because we obviously fall in the same lines of belief in the sense of what is paranormal and what's not paranormal. And just even because you can't explain it doesn't mean it's paranormal anyway.
No.
But I'm talking, it has to be like something walking towards me, something happening in the same room as me, and then you go through rat, mice, fox, now could it be this, could it be that, spider eye, that heavy, and these are the processes you have to go through every single time something happens.
Everything, you try to debunk everything anyway.
Well, that's the whole point. You wouldn't be an investigator without it.
Like we definitely do believe in the paranormal. We've experienced some amazing things over the years, but we also understand just how rare the paranormal can be, especially to try and capture something. I mean, you could have cameras set up for weeks and months and capture nothing. Because paranormal, it's a rare phenomena. I mean, I know YouTube and Facebook and everything like that they make out, it happens, within that 1 hour time frame of someone going live. And, we know we aren't that lucky. We've been doing it for...
We have been lucky, though.
Oh, there's... the thing is, you go out every time, it does increase your chances of something going to happen. But we always go with minimal expectations. We realise, there's a great chance that nothing's going to happen, but it's always amazing to go and check out these locations. Because I think if we didn't have our experience inside Dean's Road and 30 East Drive, I would probably, even though we've had some amazing things after that, I don't know if I would I don't think I'd believe in the paranormal, but because of those occurrences, I do believe in it.
I'll ask both of you this one is, do you think because there's so much out there now, YouTube's, we're doing it, yous are doing it, there's many others doing it, that it's more difficult to prove there's paranormal out there? Because I hate to say it, there's the additions where things are added on or pasted over, or you get the ones who do mock paranormal investigations, and now you've got EVPs you can add. We can all sit at home now and put things on the computer. We can do audio. You can do whispers and put them on yourselves. I'm not saying we would, but there's people out there who
there's that option to do that. But my whole experience of it all is, regardless of what somebody tells you or what you've watched or anything like that, the only way you'll ever know if the paranormal's real is if you've had something happen to you.
If you go,
it's like believing in a religion. Yeah. It's like the only reason you believe in that religion, the only reason we believe ghosts is real is because we've experienced something. I'm not going to talk to people and say I've met God and they'll tell me I'm full of shit. It's got to be, you have to experience it yourself for you to get that addition, to believe in it, to carry the love on forward, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because I like one thing we've done because of what we've been doing, like for, I don't know, 6-7 years, or how long we've been doing
6.5 years.
Is
are you sure?
Yeah. Is we do say quite often, if you've got a real love for the paranormal, stop watching YouTube and get out there and experience it for yourself, because that's the only way you'll really ever know. But going back to your question, I remember once when we went to the Cage. This was many years ago, so we'd only been doing YouTube for about a year, and most investigations, we weren't getting a great deal. And this is when I started to open up to realise just like how much entertainment, or whatever you want to call it, is in the paranormal field, putting it nicely. Because I was just seeing it, oh man, it was scattered everywhere, like all these claims of this happening and whatever. So we went to the Cage, and we actually had, in comparison to other investigations, we had some good stuff. There was one thing where a voice happened right next to me, like I was taunting the witch or whatever was there, and she like hummed or laughed or something behind me, scared the hell out of me. I ran downstairs, shaking and everything like that. Griff was like, "What's happened?" I was like, "Oh, there's something laughed." The camera picked it up. It was amazing.
Oh, brilliant.
A bit later on, we heard running on the stairs as well. Incredible. Again, the camera picked it up. So we come back from that investigation, proper psyched. I was like, "My God, something happened that we can't explain." Went in the edit, made the video. You could hear the voice, you could hear the footsteps. I was like, that is amazing. This is probably one of our best videos, amazing evidence. Can't wait to share it with people. Got the video out there, and I remember all the comments saying, bad luck, such a shame that not a lot happened, but better luck next time. And I was sitting there and I was like, wow, that just shows you the audience as well have been desensitized by something like that we call was genuine, thought was amazing, but because they've been spoilt with so and so. It's literally like, oh, is that all you got? Better luck next time, lads. And I was like, no, but that's genuine, that's real.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
But other people are like, yeah, but so are these guys. That them are genuine and they're real. And you're like, okay, well, you know.
I think when you get them, and it's happened time after time after time.
Yeah, well, it's a weekly basis, isn't it?
People believe in it.
Yeah.
Whereas it's not like that.
No.
You know,
that's
it's not like that.
Well, we get comments still to this day. There was like, I'm unsubscribing from you. You guys are the worst paranormal investigators ever. You never get anything good, and click to unsubscribe. And I'm like, well,
good luck.
There you go.
I think that's what showed stay a lot of with the communities, when obviously you're so happy that you've caught something to show someone. And
we was going through a dry spell, weren't we?
Yeah,
we caught nothing for months. I was like, here we go, we got something to show people. And I'm like, better look next time.
No, we find when we record, I mean, we do an investigation, we do the podcast, which I think is great, because we get your experiences, not just ours, you know, it's for you. And we do it and we go, what was that? You know, what was that? But you've got to think, what was that? But we leave it to them they can judge. It's, you know, we can judge at our side, but the best judges are the ones who are listening to it. Let them judge for themselves, and
that's
we're just bringing it to you. Use think whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you're the ones who are watching it.
But the only way they'll ever know is to go out and do it themselves.
Oh God,
because the thing is you could give someone the best evidence in the world, and you'll have Peter behind you going, sorry mate, I've seen better than that. And it's like, well, that's why it makes everything in the paranormal personal.
But also there's things when we've caught something, and because there's so many skeptical people out there as well, and because they've been ruined by, you know, a lot of the other stuff that they've seen out there, whenever anyone gets anything half decent, they'll just go, oh, well, that's just fake as well, because they're so sick and tired of like a lot of the other fake. Like there was that time we was at Wentworth Woodhouse, and we was getting this like crazy K2 activity. Then Griff put it on like a shelf,
piece of wood shelf,
and he was like, "Can you knock that over? Can you touch that? Can you?" And he went flying down on the floor. And we had a member of staff from Wentworth Woodhouse with us, going round to make sure that there was like no foul play or anything, because they had their reputation ruined by another paranormal group. So there was like, well, if you guys go round, we just have to kind of be with you, and plus because it's such a historic location, you know, just for insurance purposes as well. So he was there, and he's seen all this in front of him, and he was gobsmacked. He didn't know what to say. He was amazing. And so he's like, well, we got a member of staff there to prove that there was no trickery, and you know, I mean, our reputation speaks for itself. Most of the time we don't get anything. You really think we're going to stage something there? But people even said, I see the string, we see what you did. He's in on it because it's in his interest to make the place seem haunted, and I was like, so you can't win. Yeah. And I was like, where's the? There's literally no string. Yeah. Where's the? There was nothing there.
It was an amazing thing to happen.
Was it you two who brought a video out showing the audio and
Steve did the dedication.
You went back and said, look, this is I think it was what you were talking about earlier on, the sounds.
That was another one. That was like the infamous I love you. I mean, I know a lot of the Ouija family, and we captured that on, how many mics did we have at the time? I think we had 6 different microphones. And you could all hear the different acoustics of where he was coming from, and it happened I think about 10 times during the night. It was absolutely nuts. Yeah, other teams and other people was like, yeah, we know how they've done that. They just added it in post. You know, like in the edit, there was like, they just added it over the top. That's why I had to show that video. Go, look, how I added this in post. You can see it. You see me dragging all the raw footage and everything, but even then it's still not good enough for some people, because they'll have another answer. Oh, well, you had a device on you then inside there. Again, I was like, have you got proof of this? You're just throwing out all these claims. But again, I do get it, because there's that much trickery and showmanship.
It's hard.
It's hard to kind of prove your point.
Don't you find though that the paranormal is the most difficult thing to prove of anything at all?
Yeah.
The paranormal
but that is why it always takes it back to the personal experience, because all anybody's got ever is personal experience, and it's kind of like the same thing we'll say is if you are that interested in finding out if the paranormal's real, if you are interested about getting something happening to you, you've got to go and do it. Because if you, I know, I understand some people can't go and do it. I understand some people haven't got the capability. I understand that. So it's nice to watch other people. And it's nice to watch people anyway to see what they get, to see if something's happened, to compare your investigation with their investigation, see if anything links up. I understand the whole purpose of it.
Yeah.
But like the majority need to go and investigate.
Definitely.
And they need to understand that this kind of stuff that we do as a hobby, as an interest, as, you know, just a way of trying to find if there's something on the other side, it's I lost my train of thought. Can't help my head.
It was all that glue what you were using earlier on.
Yeah.
Don't say that. They'll get the wrong idea.
The glue sniffer grip. Yeah. How bad that will.
Ouija.
But yeah, it's just about it's literally about going out there and doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
So when you both started, how did the Ouija? I know we asked earlier on about the Ouija brothers. How did you come together and say, do you know what? Let's do this. Let's be the Ouija brothers. The name. How did the name come up? Well, obviously.
Well, so I think what happened was because of our time inside 30 East Drive, I think we booked it out for 4 nights, and we had that other investigator who kind of come out and, you know, kind of worked with us, but then he left and kind of left a bit of a sour taste. But like back then, not anymore, you know. I mean, that was quite a few years ago. But I remember we were sitting in the living room, weren't we? Like for that entire year, I felt like all we did was like investigate 30 East Drive without no equipment, no cameras, nothing. We just done it raw, and it was powerful, man. It was amazing. So when we got some of our best stuff, and so I got introduced a bit later on into the world of paranormal YouTube in a way. You know, obviously because we asked that investigator to come out with us. So we were just in there, and obviously when you spend all day inside a house, you do start to get a bit bored, you know, and you just start talking about ideas. And I remember Griff just saying, we could do all that. We could do the exact same thing as what he does, you know. We can go to all the locations, we can get all the equipment, we can get all the cameras, let's just go and do it. And I was like, you know what, why not? You know, let's give it a try and just see what happens, you know. It's not hard to get a camera and to go out and film.
So in for a penny, isn't it?
Yeah. So we were just sitting there in the living room and I was like, yeah, we'll do it. This was in December. I think I can't remember the year, December 2015.
It was when we lived there, wasn't he?
Yeah,
we lived there for 5 days.
Come on, Griff, it was 6.5 years ago.
Yeah, no.
So
7.5 years.
I think it was December 2015, I think. And that's when we was like, okay, then let's give ourselves a few months, let's save up some money, let's buy some equipment, let's get some cameras. And then we was like, well, what name shall we come up with? And, you know, because we're quite big fans of like old school wrestling and like video games, and we was trying to think of like Stone Cold Paranormal because we didn't want to go the route of like Wolves Paranormal because you know from Wolverhampton, Walsall, or West Midlands Paranormal. Because a lot of those names are took up and they're quite generic, aren't they?
Yeah, it doesn't stand out as much, if you know what
so
I mean.
we was just literally thinking of like loads of names, and I just threw out because I was thinking of video game references as well. And I just thought of Mario Brothers. Mario's got a brother called Luigi, or the Luigi Brothers, or Ouija Brothers, because that ties in with the paranormal. Yeah. And I was like, hey, about with the Ouija Brothers? Griff laughed and he's like, actually, that's a really good name. I was like, really? I mean, I was taking the piss.
No, it's a name that you can remember.
Yeah. And so we was all laughing. I was like, a Ouija Brothers. And then when I said it a few more times, I was like, actually, that's quite good. Yeah. And then we went on Google just to see if there was anyone else called the Ouija Brothers. But there was, but they were a musical band. Yeah. So there was like a jazz band. There weren't anything big, which was like a local band.
No, they're still good because they ain't happy with us at all. They ain't happy with us at all.
Yeah, so many people go over and it's like, are you the ghost hunting chat? No, that's the other guys. They must be pissed with us.
No.
But at least we sent some traffic.
Yeah, we did some
So there's been many fans who've gone to a concert thing and they were going on a ghost
night. Maybe. There's a possibility that's
and then some people message us, why haven't you done any posts though? Because you're following the Ouija Brothers musical group and not the paranormal show. So that's how we kind of started, and then I think as months got closer to us releasing our first video, I remember saying to Griff, I was like, I don't think the Ouija Brothers is a good name.
I was gonna mention this because he said to me, I'm going to change the name, and I was like, not a chance. I said it's sick. But what was you going to change it to?
I think it's like Wolves Paranormal.
Or he was going to change it to like Wolverhampton, West Midlands Paranormal. Yeah. But then it was like, no, stick with the Ouija Brothers. I drew up no one's ever seen these drawings, and I had like proper drawings icons of like a logo and
It was
everything.
like a red and green hat.
Red
for,
and
like,
green
Mario
hat
and Luigi.
with an S and a G on it,
Yeah.
and then it had a planchette in the middle, and then it had the Ouija brothers underneath. And
You'd end up with the one you've got on there.
Yeah,
Your
I
what's
mean
name's
that
in the
is
way,
close to it, but obviously that's that's sinister. I had a nice playful gamer one.
It was like clip art.
It was.
Something
I'm
on
going to
clip
grab
art.
one of them off you, so put it on the camera.
Yeah.
So it'll be up there in the corner.
Yeah.
But again, you know, you've got together, you've got the name the Ouija Brothers now, and how did you start getting out and about? Did you just start booking places, or did you go?
It was pretty much
like what we do is we go off filming outside and everything.
Yeah. What pretty much happened was, stay, Griff, we're going out. And that,
But that
it was literally, Steve'd book a place.
that was a bit later on, wasn't it?
No, I'm talking at the start. It was like we're going here tonight. I'm coming to get you, and that's pretty much how we started doing. We did a woods, we did a school, we did bits like.
Yeah, so we done some locations close to us. You know, like just going the typical route of like doing woods, and then because we had no idea.
We had some really good stuff in that woods though.
Yeah.
When I look back at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dogging doesn't count.
No, it wasn't anything to do with dogging. It was canning.
There's some of the canned stuff. But we had, like, you remember we come into where we had like really no connections, so we didn't know how to get like certain locations, like abandoned places, or even some of the other locations, you know, like Skirridin or anything like that. But I remember we was like, let's start out big, let's do a location where not many people have done, but it's got a bit of buzz. And it was 39 De Grey Street, so we saved up a lot of money, and we got 39 De Grey Street all booked out. So I think we'd done 3 nights there, and then we were just going around, going to like old abbeys, old ruins, and things like that. And he just kind of
simpler time.
And he just started progressing from there in a way. I think he was actually Griff finding them locations in the first 6 months.
Yeah, simpler time.
And then 6 years later, nothing. You know, I've had to take the full reins. But so yeah, it's always like little steps. You know, just doing what everyone else does, and then as you start knowing people, and then connections build, and then you start sharing, and start building a community. And then obviously because we work with Haunted Happenings, so we have like all the best locations in England on tap.
Brilliant.
So it's a brilliant, like how...
That's such a shout out, you know.
No,
she might cancel us.
But we started from nothing, you know, and it can just keep growing.
But I mean, a good story about that in itself, like Stu was saying about Haunted Happenings, the main reason we got involved with those was through 30 East Drive as well. So 30 East Drive has brought us every single one of our adventures, in the sense, because we met Hazel at 30, I mean people don't know. We met the leader of Haunted Happenings there, we met Bill there, we met Higgy, was it? Higgy there?
No, Higgy wasn't that one.
The magazine one, who was the magazine one?
The Haunted magazine.
Yeah, we met a lot of people in that one spot. And
us.
It's just,
Excuse me.
it's just progressed, like with relationships through people and then networking, and that's how we've got to the place that we are now. Like.
You do find that though, don't you? There's a really good network of people you can work with.
Yeah.
As long as you're all on the same page in the sense. If someone doesn't like someone, it seems to be in the paranormal that you've been cut off.
That's the sad part you have.
It's like turning a tap off.
Yeah, been there, on the t-shirt, everything. I'm one of these ones. I just like to try and get on with everyone.
Yeah, that's the best
I'm
way
not
to
just,
be.
but it does happen it happens in any business, doesn't it? So you've been with Haunted Happenings and Hazel and that. And have you been with other groups? You don't have to name them. You've been with other groups and experienced with things with them. Because I always say to people when they say, "Oh, we're thinking about doing our own ghost hunts and stuff," and that, and I say, "Go with other groups first. Experience what you think with them, and you can pick information off them, and then start your own group. Then and start. Don't start like big. Just go in and just enjoy it, and you learn from there. That's what we've done. Is just step by step. It's little steps first, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the reason we haven't gone to any other places is because it's like Hazel looks after everything that we need anyway. So it's kind of like we just have the location, don't we? In the sense, so it's
fantastic.
Just nice in that way.
And do you go with them, or do you go with them and then go off on your own?
So what they do is they open the doors for us early before any of the public. We spend about an hour or two in there before everyone, and we get to do whatever we want, film, record, get some stuff sorted, and then they give us a plan of basically what the night's going to happen, like what rooms they're going to be in. So while they're in there, we can be in the other side of the building or in other sections, and we just kind of do our own thing. And then during break times, then we go there and talk to the haunted happening staff, or
talk to the people,
talk to people.
That's fantastic.
So
it's a good
it's quite good.
relationship.
Yeah,
It is. It really is.
and we get to get home at a decent hour as well. We'll try and leave about midnight and get home about 2, while their investigation doesn't even finish till 2 or 3.
Yeah, so
and it's like, I ain't staying till that
We ain't
time.
built for that anymore.
Not anymore.
I say anymore.
Never?
We never have been. We've never been built like that.
Yeah.
We've been here 4 o'clock in the morning.
Nah,
sometimes.
man, screw it. Well, I was at 30 East Drive last week with my family, and we were in bed by 11, and it was joyful, because we've always found going to bed in that place. That's when things kick off.
You slept there?
Yeah.
With your family?
Yeah, my 3 kids were in the one room, me and my partner were in the other room, and we had cameras.
Phillips?
Yeah.
Man,
What
that
was
must
that?
have been a bad night there.
Yeah, it was bad.
So there's Philip's room, isn't there? And then there's the mum and dad's room, and then there's the little girl's room. What's her name?
Diane.
Diane's room. And then
Kira's going to do Diane's room on her own.
What's she?
But then when it comes to the time, it's like, Riley, can I share with you and Jamie?
Did it have an energy there at the time? I shouldn't be talking about it. Sorry.
Yeah, this video is not even out. Yeah.
Because we haven't had this conversation in the sense.
We have now.
We still have.
We'll talk about it in the car, but the video will be coming pretty soon.
Well, no, it'll be out by the time, because this is Christmas Eve.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you'll have to cut bits, right?
No, this video, YouTube on this will be out soon.
Oh, okay.
It'll be out now because
It'll be out while
it.
you're watching it.
Yeah,
You're watching it. So
It's out.
whether it's Christmas Eve or not.
Surprise!
The video will be out on December 24th.
And then they're going,
It's the 27th.
Ruff, he lied to us.
No, the radio show will have been out on Christmas Eve. So if you go on to Access Paranormal Radio on YouTube, you can listen to the radio interview, which is this really.
Yeah.
So if you've listened to this, turn the volume down, you can just see our lips moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have your own words to it. But when you go out to these places, these locations, do you go out there and with no plan, or do you go out there and think, right, walk around first, get everything worked out, and then throw your cameras up?
So yeah, 90% of the time we full on wing everything. So we go there with no game plan, but after you've done it for so long, you kind of like fall into like a routine, don't you? Yeah. So we kind of know what we've got to do, but there is no like schedule, no plan. Oh, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. But some locations, when you do go to them, we do think, oh yeah, maybe we should do that experiment, or we could spend some time here, or how do, especially if it's a return visit to somewhere, we try and spice it up a bit. So if we do 30 East Drive, it's like, how about if we go into the house first, on our own, we haven't even stepped foot in there, and spend an hour, then we can switch over and just do some different experiments. But most of the time, it's just pure, let's wing it, and we'll try and make it work in the edit. That's how most of the time it goes, and I find that quite good though, to be fair.
It is. It's better for, I suppose, relaxation and being yourself on camera. And so most of the time it's Steve turning around to me, come on, Jace, we've got to do this. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm just having a look over here.
Yeah.
And we've not recorded anything, and I'm just having a look around.
Yeah.
Or we'll start recording straight away, and everything just falls into place. So it's kind of like, it's kind of one of them.
Working what you're saying, Griff, you do all the work.
Yeah, Steve does all the work.
You do all the editing, you set all the
Steve
cameras.
does all the editing,
And Griff,
does all that stuff.
He just turns up and smiles.
Yeah, man. I'm the face.
he breaks the tripods and that.
Yeah, he breaks the tripods.
I break every
Breaks
bit of
the REM
equipment,
pods.
to be honest. I don't know if that REM pod has to come up again. That REM pod's like 5 years old.
Right,
now.
so tell us about the REM pod.
Oh man, so it was
Don't bother telling me about the REM pod.
it was a £300 REM pod back to 30 East Drive, and we had it on the top of the stairs, on the top of the banister. And I mean, Griff's quite heavy with his feet. I mean, he's destroyed cat balls as well, destroyed them into smithereens.
Bits, millions of pieces.
So it's kind of a bit of a joke, and we was like, because Griff was a bit too afraid to sleep in one of the other rooms on his own, so he got the mattress from the little girl's room, was bringing it into the room that we was all staying in.
What you want about? We was all stopping in the
and
same
I was like,
room.
and I said, Jace, I said, just be careful, take it easy, there's a REM pod. Oh, nothing's going to happen. You've got this big mattress, swings you around, hits the REM pod, goes down, bends, snaps, and destroys the entire aerial.
Just bent the aerial.
No, it hasn't worked ever since.
No.
Properly.
His son destroyed the rest of it.
No, that was the spirit box he destroyed. He got a £200 spirit box. He was classed as the holy grail of Radio Shack 12587 or something it was. And I just heard my daughter screaming, Dad! Dad, because he used to go in my bag and just start messing with everything. I went in there, he got the aerial and he'd bend and he was like a banana. I was like, what are you doing? Got it off, I was like, yeah. And he threw his head back and he sprayed my thumb. So my thumb was spraying and I got a damaged aerial. And I was like, this kid is just a nightmare.
And just for the record, how much was the REM pod?
The REM pod was about £300. You got to remember, they have come down a
Bob
lot.
brought more revenue than that in.
Not at the time. That was a big drop.
It was a bit expensive for at the time.
You're now watching the last recording of the Ouija brothers ever.
I think that'd have make us fall less.
So tell us a little bit about some of the experiences you've had, genuine experiences of paranormal activity that you've had in the locations you've been to. I mean,
I'll tell you one experience, not so much with the Ouija brothers, but also just more so of experiences that I've had that have kept me interested in the paranormal. And one of them was when I was 8 years old, and it was when I lived at a place, Woodensbrook Lane it was, and
it was in Wolverhampton.
In Wolverhampton. And someone walked up the stairs every night, 12 o'clock on the dot.
Every single night?
Every night. And it was every night, the fear, because I literally was in the room at the top of the stairs. So the top of the stairs, and then it was my room. And every night at 12 o'clock, someone stood in my room, and you could just, like when you can feel the presence and someone's there going, and I'm looking at the wall and I'm scared. I'm proper scared. I'm 8. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 8. And basically, so I told my parents and everything at the time, and we all stood at the stairs one night, and it still happened. So it was like a residual.
You said one of you were at the bottom, and then the other ones were at the top.
Yeah. And we got it exercised in the end.
Yeah.
Right.
And that place is empty at the moment.
Yeah.
The building's empty?
Yeah, and I really want to get in touch with the landlord. I'll pay him £300, I will, to go back in that area.
Yeah.
That's a crazy stuff, because I remember him telling me about that years and years ago, and he said his mum and dad were at the bottom, him and his sisters and brother, actually I don't know if George was alive.
George wouldn't have been alive at the time.
But it was like him and his sisters were at the top, and they all heard the footsteps in between them going up and down while them all standing there.
So it was more, like you said, a residual. It was just like a recording.
But it felt like it was residual, but it was also intelligent, the way that it would terrify you in the night in the one room. So that kept me really interested, because I always wanted to know what is that, where does that come from, where does that fear come from. And the only reason that story, because 8 years old, people turn around and say, well, you've remembered it wrong, or you've been told it wrong.
It was funny, because we was at his mum's the other day, and she brought it up.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I'd ever talked to his mum about what happened when he was a kid. And she started the conversation. She was like, well, how about what happened to them? Because we was like, because she said, see, you're just no fun having around. You're just a party killer, you debunk this, you debunk that. Well, how about this time when you was a kid, Jace, and we heard all that walking coming up and down the stairs, we got the house exercise. I was like, oh,
really bad. And that house is empty, and I really want to go back in there.
It'd be interesting to know why it walks up and down the stairs, or up the stairs.
And if you carried on years after.
And if it's still doing it now.
Yeah, so man.
But apparently it got worse, my mum said, after the exorcism, because obviously we're Catholics, and lapsed Catholics now. But she got one of the church officials in to do a proper exorcism of the house. Mm-hmm. They had to monitor everything or whatever, and then he did it, and then it got worse, and we moved then. So,
but if you ever go back there, you're going to have to come back and follow up
on
the story,
I'd love to go back there.
That'd be a brilliant story to follow up on.
But that's one of my experiences as a child. And then just to pick one off, as I suppose as a new one, not one, maybe one that you can watch. Pick one. You tell one, Steve, and then I'll think
I think one of our best things that happened, and I don't even know if he was paranormal, but it happened this year, and it was the I love you stuff. Okay. Because that got a lot of because again, when you do it for so many months, years, and it starts to kind of die down, you have a lot of, you're firing blanks, nothing's happening. So again, we went to this location once, we got some interesting stuff. We was like, okay, that's quite good. So we went to go to check out a different abandoned location, but it was sealed up. And it was me, Griff, and our other best mate called Stiff. And we was like, let's go to this other location. We done it last week. It was pretty good. Let's go there again. So we went there, and usually to try and get activity, 2 goals in a row, it's quite rare. I'm not saying that the first time was a fluke, but just to capture something for a second time, your odds are kind of like, no, it's not going to happen, So we went there, low expectations, but really excited to go in there to show stuff. And straight off the bat, we was hearing those voices, and it took me back to when we first started the paranormal, when we done 30 East Drive, and we got just the best experience ever. And I remember once when we was at 30 East Drive, I was just sitting on the stairs, just in utter shock of what the hell was that. And I think that's why we do the paranormal, because of that adrenaline rush and that shock factor of what the hell was that. And where I haven't really experienced, we've had little moments and glimpses of it, but if you watch that video with the I love you stuff, you can see just the utter shock and the surprise, even though I'm kind of smiling, but my mouth open and our eyes are going and Griff's going high pitched. Because it's just what is going on? We haven't
I
had
was
anything
trying
this
to shout people to get out. Tell them what the video's called, Steve, so they can go and watch it.
Yeah,
it's called I Love You. It's actually just called I Love You. This video made us believe in the paranormal or something.
It's on the Ouija Brothers channel.
It's on the Ouija Brothers. There's an entire playlist, so when you go on the Ouija Brothers, you only have to go down 2, 3 little bits, and you'll see the I Love You playlist, and it's just insane.
And when you've watched that, watch the rest of them as well. They're really good. Yeah.
So I think that one that stands out because it's quite fresh. But also, we did have some really good stuff in that other farmhouse we done recently. The one we done 4 times in a row.
Oh, yeah.
And we heard the running towards us and running behind us and stuff like that. Yeah. That was amazing. But when the first time we done Mill Street Barracks.
Yeah, it's cute.
When we done Mill Street Barracks, we had a locked off camera down in the main hall, and you can hear what sounds like growling and the door opening, followed with footsteps.
Was that the one you done earlier on this year?
No, that was the one last year.
Last year, right?
Yeah, but
it doesn't feel that long ago.
But we didn't actually release the video until January. We sat on the video for about 7-8 months because we was going to do it as a Halloween special. Because he was so good. I remember after we filmed in, because of all the stuff that happened, we was like, that's got to be a Halloween special. But then we had a different opportunity for Halloween. Instead, we went live. So that video kind of got pushed back. And Griff was like, you need to release that video. I was like, I know it's such a big project that because of how much footage we had. And I was like, just can't be bothered to do it. But when I did do it, and then I heard all that stuff, I was like, okay, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. So, but that was really good. Sorry, that's just
it's me, when I'm nodding.
Yeah.
It's not paranormal.
I'll start nodding.
Yeah. If you can get it to open, then it's paranormal.
If it gets to open, you can carry on the interview yourselves. But some of the places you've been to, where's the most scariest place you've been to? I'm guessing it was 30 East Drive.
It's got to be. It's got to.
I don't know, because I think there's a good contender, and the cage was getting there, Rory.
Oh, the cage was amazing.
The cage was getting that fear factor of just even stepping in.
Can you explain what the cage is? Because I've never heard of this before.
The cage in St Joseph, down in London.
Like Essex way.
Yeah, and it was
a witch's prison, I believe.
Yeah, they say it was a prison. We'll just say it's a prison.
I think it was.
And there was a graveyard over the wing, and they used to kill these people that they thought were witches in the area. And this was the place where they'd keep the ladies who they thought was witches. So this is probably one of the last places some of them were before they died and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, it's
like a prison for the witches.
Yeah, I'm going to say women.
Yeah.
Because if you could do that trick with your hand, you was a witch, were you, or something? So if you told your husband to get lost, I'm going to do this, you was a witch. There was a lot of miswitching.
I was listening to something on YouTube the other night, and they were on about witches, and they were turning around, they were saying about they'll pardon murderers, they'll pardon this, they'll pardon that. But they've never pardoned a witch ever. Yeah. With the Pendle witches and that, and they were all innocent really. It was just at the time that the witches, you were accused of being a witch. You only had to sneeze and you were a witch, wouldn't you? Yeah. And they were saying they've never ever been pardoned. No witch has ever been pardoned, but yet they'll pardon other things. Yeah. And they reckon that in that case the government are scared to pardon things like that.
Yeah. I just think that it was just a case of if a man had a wife who was disobedient, wanted to be something else, just call her a witch. Yeah. You're a witch, go away. So there might be a lot of women watching us now, but I honestly think they basically just miswitched people, or they did it on purpose to get them killed so no one else could have them. in the sense so a lot of innocent women, a lot of normal people were killed.
Died for no reason at all. Well, there was the film, wasn't there, about the notorious, was it Hopkins?
Yeah.
I can't think of his first name. He was the witch-finder general. He went around the country and he just picked on the people and they were murdered because they were witches.
Why didn't he just went out and told everyone there was witches?
Oh, you should watch it. It's a brilliant programme.
Killing women for no reason. It's brilliant.
Yeah. He was just calling them witches and that was it. Drown them, throw them in the pool. What was it they used to say? If you put them in the water and they drowned, they were a witch. Yeah. If they survived, they were a witch. Yeah. There was no way of winning.
So if they floated, there was a witch.
Yeah.
And if they drowned, they were real, but they were drowned.
They were a witch, yeah.
So they couldn't. They died anyway.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, she was real. We've just killed her. And damn it, whatever.
So being the Ouija brothers, I mean, you've been everywhere. You've been a lot of places.
I've been everywhere. We've been a lot of places. Yeah. I'd love to go more places, but just time's the killer for us on that.
So do you both sit in the house and go, do you know what, should we try this place? Or do you do your research for places?
Stay again, eh?
Stay again?
Yeah. So still just go. I mean, I've done this today.
Have you?
This is down to me. But
it's not looking good for you, Griff, is it?
No. Well, I mean, if people knew what I had to do in my life, they'd be like, he does really well, to be honest. Yeah. But yes, Steve's basically got the time to be able to do it. Yeah. If I had more time on my hands, I'd be able to help, which is something maybe in the future if we can get something on the horizon. But it's kind of like Steve just rings me, says, I've seen this place, we're going here this day. Can you make it? And I'm like, yeah, or no.
That's how he kind of rolls. A lot of time, like a lot of people do message us and say, oh, maybe check out this location. So kind of just like add a list of like places where people have suggested or recommended, or something will catch my eye like while I'm scrolling, or I'll see, a new haunted museum's opened. I was like, okay, let's inquire, let's try and get into there.
Yeah, is that
the not
Craig?
Well, yeah, we've done one with Craig as well. I think he's got another one opening up soon.
That's
I think
right,
actually just opened up.
Fear factor thing.
Yeah. So it's just like things like that. You know, always just kind of keep your eye out and just look for things. Or I'll go on Haunted Happenings, see if they've got any new venues that we've never done. I was like, Griff, so I'll work out like a little calendar or list of ones we haven't done or ones we want to revisit because, you know, it's always good to give locations another chance. Or if we got some good stuff, to see if we can capture more. And it's just like things like that. Or I'll have my mates like sending messages, check this pin out, this location. It's like, that looks good. It's only an hour away, let's go. So
just like that.
Yeah, because it's hard though, because, trying to do like on the most times it's like weekly content. So you need like these filler gaps, and that's what the abandoned series kind of do. Because, them free, we've only got to go there. Because the expense of paranormal investigations are very expensive. Like we went to Chillingham Castle, and remember, you're never guaranteed anything, so you could be paying thousands for one night of absolutely nothing.
Was it 900 quid?
Chillingham?
Or was it 1,500?
It was 1,500.
1,500.
Yeah. I think if they dropped it, I'm being honest with you, if these venues started dropping the price a little bit, people have booked them.
More people.
They'd make more money by doing that.
In the long run, but I don't think they think it's worth it. But
like most of the time, it's just one security guard or like one person looking after the place, and that's it. Yeah. And I was like, that's a lot of money. Like, how can you really justify spending that?
When he'd be empty anyway.
When he'd be empty.
Yeah, you can't justify it, can you?
No. So, I mean, I don't think I'd go back to Chillingham, even though it was a good experience. I'm glad we
I'll go back on my own.
We ticked it off the list. But it's 5 hours. What? 5 hours north.
I'll do it on my own. So.
Don't fall out now,
in that King what's his bloody name?
James
Edward or James, one of them.
Oh, is that the one? Is that the one with the strange paint and it looks like
it's just a proper
Harlequin.
Big room, the top floor. That was his place where he stayed, and it was Edward and James.
The King.
Let us know down in the comments. I think it's King Edward.
Yeah, it could be King Edward. King Edward, it were.
Hold on, you was the one in there going, I'm standing in King someone's... And now here you are. You don't even know the King is.
Yeah, but I've had brain farts today. I don't know what the hell's going on.
He was a king anyway.
But yeah, anyway, King's room, and that was proper eerie in there. That was where we felt the most uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, but nothing happened. Huh?
Yeah, but just a good feeling. 1,500 quid feeling. It was worth that feeling. But in all honesty, like saying what you talked to see about locations and stuff like that, starting out, I'd imagine it's really hard to get places, but as soon as you get in with people and start networking like Steers with people, they basically
support.
just feed each other locations off and on, and obviously looking at other people's videos and stuff like that as well. But it's nice to be first as well.
Yeah, we've had a few of them. It's great.
It's nice to be first. Because obviously everyone's going to flock to your video and see what the place is all about before they go as well. So the fans and other YouTubers help more than anything.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, isn't it? Working with each other, not against each other, with each other. That's the best way. Yeah. Going back to your filming, you know, you have so many cameras, could be 3 or 4 cameras. Do you have to sit there hour after hour after hour going through it all and then editing it so you've got the different...
Yeah, well, I mean...
Don't make it sound easy, Steve.
To do a video, I mean, just a regular video, like around 15 to 20 hours worth of work per week. So if you think about that, so it takes me 20 hours and I space that over, like, I do about 5 or 6 hours a day. So just say 5 hours makes it a bit easier. So 5, 10, 15, so it takes me about 4 days worth of editing, of sitting and going through it. And then after we've done the editing, then it's like, right then, Jason, I've got another location. So then on the 5th day, we'll go out and film. Sometimes it's even on the day after we've edited.
Sometimes we'll go twice.
And then and then that will ruin us for the next day because, you know, the late night and then waking up and doing all that other stuff. Him having to go to his job. And it was...
that fucking job.
You know what I mean? But so the week is quite extensive. So the thing is, when you do the videos, it's so fast. And when there's the multiple cameras, it's not as hard as people think because you just multicam it all. So what you do is, as you see in how we started this video, I'm like clicking in. So what I do is I've got like multiple video tracks, multiple audio tracks, and I line it all up together. And then once I've got all my cameras all connected, then I just click multicam, and then it comes up on a screen, and I can see the 3, 4 different cameras, and then I've got all the audio tracks. So I've got all the audio blasting in my ears, and I'm just watching the cameras and like just basically flicking which camera shot I want to move to. Locked off cameras are a bit more difficult, but that's why we don't really use them too much because I can't be bothered to.
That's what he set up 2. That's why he set up 2 downstairs.
But today I have set up 2. But again, a lot of the times what we do with the locked off, we've probably missed, if we've caught a ghost, we've probably missed it because I just look at audio spikes. Like if there's an audio spike change and oh, what happened there, I'll just zoom to it because I'm not going to sit through 4 or 5 hours of one camera because you'll go insane. So what we usually do with that footage is I'll usually just throw it up on the Ouija Brothers members section. So people who are like support us monthly, they get to see, because they love that kind of stuff, they get to see like the locked off camera footage and, you know, that they might see something that we missed. Because again, I don't sit through all that hours of footage. I just look at audio spikes. Oh, there's a spike there. Let's have a look at it. Oh, there's something there. Oh, it's just a car. Oh, okay, that's just that. You know, something like that. But I haven't actually gone through most of the footage because, you know, I haven't got the time.
So basically, your members are your eyes and ears, which is great.
Yeah, well, you thought it's exclusive.
They're interacting with you.
It's exclusive content to them. But also, if they see something, they can leave it in the comments and go, actually, look at this, you might have missed it.
It's content that they can investigate themselves.
Exactly,
that Steve hasn't been able to investigate.
So it's becoming part of the Ouija Brothers clan, isn't it? Where you the share, you know, and that's a great idea. I like that idea. Yeah. Thankfully, you only do an hour. But when you've done it all, do you keep everything? Do you just keep?
I don't
discard a lot.
No, I can't keep raw files because, as you can see, we've got so many cameras and it's all filmed in 4K. And I think I'll just use this, a 30 East drive.
Here we go again.
I know, well last week, it's only because I've just put everything all on the hard drive. From 30 East drive alone, with all the audio, all the cameras and all the locked off, it was 700 gigabytes for one investigation.
I can understand why I don't keep
You know what I mean? That's a lot of, and usually I have like about 4 or 5 investigations backed up on my PC, ready to, you know, work on edit. So I was like, I'm going to do this one because none of our videos are filmed in order. So one week, like it happened quite recently, we worked with Amy's Crypt 3 times and I released the 3rd video, the last video we'd done with that first. So at the start of the video, we're here and I was like, oh, we're working back here with Amy's Crypt, you know, we're here, we're doing this farmhouse, and people's like, you're working here again? What were you on about? We've never seen you before. And then about a month, 2 months later, the first video comes out. Guys, we're here, we're working with Amy's script for the first time. And the audience is like, hold on, didn't you work with her about a month ago? And I have to remind them, it's like, oh, our videos are not filmed in order.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a video.
This one?
Yeah.
This one?
Well,
this is the longest one.
Mill Street Barracks took 7 months, but we filmed Tatton Hall back in June, and that's still not out. I don't think it's even come out till January. So it's just how it is. But yeah, I don't keep all the raw footage because, again...
You keep it for a little bit of time for the video, and then if something pops up, then you can use it.
It depends how good the video is. Like, I know I've kept the raw footage for the I Love You stuff because that's just incredible.
Well, it's a good job we did, really,
Yeah.
for the evidence to
Exactly.
prove that there was...
But most of the time, because me and Griff know exactly what's happened and what's gone down, and we're like, yeah, whatever. So it's like, we've got the video, got the investigation, done, whatever. And because the thing is, you'll never please everyone. But as an editor, I do wish I could kind of go back and fix some of them older videos and change the editing and bring in some of my newer skills. But then, you know, I mean, I have no time doing new videos. So imagine going back through a catalogue of nearly 270 videos.
270
and going back and changing. Oh, I could change this. I can remove the audio there, change this song. It'd be a flipping nightmare. So I think it's best just to leave it as an experience of, you can see the progression, how we got better over time.
Yeah. That's the good part about it. It's seeing that progression. I mean, I've watched that on many of YouTubers. Like there's one, I don't know whether you've ever heard of them in Canada, the Paranormies.
Yeah.
And we interviewed them right at the beginning, and they only had 5 subscribers.
Yeah.
And you go to them now, and they've got like 170 odd thousand subscribers. They're going on TV and everything else. And I'm going, we met them when there was only 5 subscribers and 3 of us were us.
Yeah.
I don't know who the other 2 were, but there was just the 5 of us. And
do you ever keep in touch with them?
We've given, now and then we contact them, and they're all right, they keep in touch with you. But the funny thing is we were giving them advice on what to do. Yeah. And now they can give us advice because of this, I mean, they've got cameras, they've got the full works and everything else, and we think, why don't we be advisors? But we like supporting people, you know, the likes of them and like the likes of yourselves who enjoy it and give you this opportunity to say, you know, to behind the scenes of the Ouija Brothers, really, isn't it? Because it's you know, they see you doing all these little recordings of you doing ghost hunts and everything else. Yeah. They don't see the real Griff, the real Steve, and what you do behind the scenes.
Well, I don't know what I do with that, but what you call it. They do see a really good version of us, I believe, on the camera, because I've known him for ages, he's known me for ages, and I don't think we differ from the people that we are at all on camera. So that's one of the things that I like to, I suppose, like, atone to on the channel, is that the people that you're seeing, the things that we are doing is 100% us. Yeah,
well, we have a lot of people have said that, like people that we have met, they've said, oh, we thought you'd be different, but you're exactly the same on camera as off camera. I was like, well, because there's no act, there's no script, there's nothing like that. Because without mentioning names, like we've met other YouTubers, big personalities, full of energy, blah, blah, blah. And then you hang out with them behind the scenes and them quiet, them silent, and them actually quite boring. And you're like, wow, what a massive, this is, I weren't expecting this.
It should have just started with boring anyway.
But then as soon as
say it all again, you're boring.
And then as soon as the camera comes on and they hit record, they light up, and then you see this, it's a facade, it's an act. And there's so many channels out there, like say we have worked with, and you see it's a huge act. And it's just shocking, isn't it?
It is, because especially when we've started videos and Steve's gone, how are you feeling today, Jason? I'm like, fuck this. Look, and I've said that on camera.
If you ever watch any of ours, you'll see that we're just the same.
Yeah, but it's the same as we're talking now. You're the same as what you was downstairs. But there's not many people that can say that. And it's kind of like, that's the uniqueness that we bring, is that we bring ourselves, and we bring ourselves to the investigations rather than being all robotic or, welcome guys, it's you know, some days it's like, you're
more energetic than others.
Yeah,
you're just people, really.
Yeah, but that's all
ordinary people, like enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah, you don't expect anybody to idolise you or anything like that. You don't expect anybody to be like that. But if they enjoy the company, they enjoy the time they spend with us through videos, then realistically, they'd enjoy the time spent with us in real life as well. So,
well, the last time you were here, I enjoyed your company because you were dead relaxed and you know.
I was ill actually. I think on near the end, I was like, man, I've got to go. I got no cinematics.
I remember that.
You know what I mean? And you can ask Griff, like, I love doing the cinematics for a bit, but he just come down real bad. I think that's the hour timeline.
Is he timing us? I've been got him there as well. So we're coming towards the end of the show now. He said it underneath there, I didn't even know. Does he want to put it as a vibrator?
No, just put it on a timer. You asked me to put a 59-minute timer. And we ain't pressuring you. If you want to ask us a few more questions, you can. But it's,
we've got about 30 seconds left. So
okay. Oh, is it?
Yeah, we've got 30 seconds left.
Have you only got 30 seconds?
No, I'm bored.
Am I going to waste it all?
So we're going to go off in a minute. We're going to be doing a paranormal investigation as well, aren't we? So what are you looking forward to tonight? We're here. We're at Mill Street Barracks. It's part 2 for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm hoping for some footsteps, some screams, shouts, someone to drag me across the floor. That's pretty much what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, go clubbing it. You could get all that.
I'm hoping. I am hoping. What you want to do?
Yeah, just more of the same. Yeah, just.
You want to be dragged?
Anything. I mean, I don't mind if any camera wants to get smashed up, any piece of equipment.
Well, you was bothered earlier when that thing snapped.
Yeah, but is that paranormal though? I mean, paranormal.
You never know. It did. It just happened.
Yeah, but don't break that one there. It's my phone. The one that we're recording off my phone.
Yeah.
So I've got to say, should we go on and do ghost hunts or do what you need to do?
Yeah, we'll do ghost.
So from Access Paranormal's podcast, I've got to say a huge thank you to Steve and a huge thank you to Griff for taking the time out to come and do this for us. So to the Ouija brothers, get onto their channel, go and enjoy them. They are fantastic. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here with me.
Cheers for joining us, guys.
Oh no, thanks very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.